What up, everybody? Today it's time to learn about one of the best competitive kendama players in the world. His name is So Kanada, and he is my teammate.
It starts with
We start our journey with So Kanada in 2017. The Sweets team is in Japan for the KWC, and we see this young Japanese player who is going off. He is playing with a Sweets Kendama, and he is not missing anything on stage.
On fire right now.
That player, So Kanada, would go on to win his first title of KWC and be the first Japanese player to ever win the Kendama World Championships in Japan. With Kendama being from Japan, Japanese players had wanted to win the KWC for a very long time. So winning it in 2017 was a really big deal in the Kendama world, especially to the Japanese players. After that, So flew to Minnesota to win the Minnesota Kendama Open, the MKO formerly now known as the NAKO, the North American Kendama Open. He took that down, and then he went back to Japan, and in December of 2017, he took second place in catch and flow.
2, 1, time.
3 of our biggest tournaments, that dude went and took first, and second. So you best believe shortly after catch and flow, I was in his DMs making sure that he was to be part of the Sweets Kendamas team. Up until that point, Taku Hatanaka was the only other Japanese player that we had sponsored. We actually created the Sweets Japan squad because of So. We wanted him to have other players join the team, and so we could create a team of players in Japan that was better than anyone in the world. After inviting So to the team, he made it a point to make 2018 an epic year for his Kendama success. He kept on winning competitions. He took down first place at the Minnesota Kendama Open, now known as the North American Kendama Open. He was the only player in the history of our event to ever go back-to-back first place wins. Later in that year, he would be competing in the KWC as well, trying to go back-to-back in that competition as well. Sadly, he would be taken down and only take second that year. I say only, which is still a huge achievement for anyone in the world of Kendama. Also in 2018, we made a So Champ mod to commemorate his win of the KWC in 2017. So now it's 2019, and So Kendama has chosen to take a hiatus from Kendama. In Japan, school is very important, if not the most important thing in a child's life growing up. So in order to finish school and get all the proper education out of the way that he needed to do, So made the hard decision to quit Kendama. And now I say quit, I don't mean stop forever. I mean stop posting, stop practicing, stop going to competitions, and only focus on school. It's an almost impossible decision for someone to make who is literally the best at the sport that they are playing at the time. But So is the best, like I had said before. He is one of the most consistent players I have ever met. So things like that don't just leave your memory. It's much like riding a bicycle in Kendama. When you get to a certain point of skill, it doesn't go away that fast. Let's fast forward to 2021. NAKO is being thrown online because we are still in and amongst the COVID situation. So we are doing it virtually to keep people safe. So messages me and says, I will be competing at NAKO. And I go, no way, the king has returned. He has come back to retain his title. And that is exactly what he did, everybody. He came back and beat everyone virtually in Japan, 14 hours ahead, sleepy as a dog, and he still took down first place. All this did was prove everything I've said in the video thus far. So his consistency and his ability to practice for competitions, open style specifically, is something that only a few players in our world of Kendama can do on the level that they do it. And to take a 3-year hiatus to come back and win is a pretty amazing feat for just about anybody. So is truly a legend in my eyes for doing that. In 2022, he would go on to take second place at KWC. So his return to Kendama as a first at NAKO and a second at KWC which is remarkable, which is just an insane thing to do, and makes him, in my eyes, one of the most consistent and one of the most epic open style players of all time. Now that So's been back, he's started to expand his horizons in the kendama world and do other things than just compete. He opened up his own store in Japan called the Kendama Goat Store, and you can go buy Sweets Kendamas in Japan through So. Through the Sweets Kendama Foundation and through the JK in Japan, he is teaching kendama to kids, educating the children in schools about kendama, and he's really trying to spread kendama and keep it alive in Japan, which is something that we love him for and makes him an amazing human. Now for the exciting part of the video where I get to show you So Canada's first ever pro model. Look at this bad boy. I really love how it came out. It's very minimalist. So wanted not a lot on his dama. He wanted a lot of the wood to speak for itself. So let's look at the design first. We have this green padded bottom, which is beautiful. It's supposed to all represent matcha. Matcha is like one of So's favorite things. He has the matcha engraving right down here underneath the small cup. On the front, he has SOK for So Canada and his nice little signature there. And then the rest is all about the wood, y'all. So we have a lot of different woods. We have Padauk as the top dot. We have ash right here as the main bulk of the wood on the tama. And then the bottom part is beech. Now, So is a big fan of beech wood, so he has beech here, and he also has beech on the top of the Serato. So when they both wear in, it should give you the best playability experience. Other than that, we have maple on each side of a Padauk stripe that runs all the way through the Ken. And then we also have maple on the underside of the Serato with Padauk running through as well. And as always, we have that bottom bevel for you. So a very honed dama, very nice weight. I just love the way it looks, and it truly says So to me, you know? I love when pros design kendamas because it really gives their feeling and gives their essence. So if you want to support So, a portion of every proceed go back to the players so we can help keep spreading kendama love in Japan, and So can keep winning comps all around the world. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Thanks for supporting us. We'll see you in the next one. What up, everybody? Thanks for checking out that video. If you like what you just watched, make sure you go hit that subscribe button, and make sure you go punch that shop button and get yourself a new dama. We have tons of other videos for you to watch, so make sure you go check them out. See you next time.